right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present to you the Carrie Brown.
Hello, it is time for
Cheese of the Week.
So today we have what's in the bag?
What's in the box? All right.
Today we have a very special cheese for you, and it's called Lamb Chopper. And if that isn't an exciting enough name for a cheese, it's actually sheep milk cheese. So if there's any of you with like the cow thing, the anti-cow thing going on, sheep's milk cheese might be something that you could have and still enjoy all the cheesy goodness.
However, if you are lactose intolerant, sheep's milk actually has a bit more lactose in it than cow's milk. So if you're lactose intolerant, then you know it might not be an option for you.
Okay, so this one, as I say, this particular sheep's milk cheese is called Lamb Chopper, and we got it here in a little village in Connecticut. It's one of those cheeses with a rind, so you'll see it's got a clear rind here, which you would not eat. This is almost like wax, like you would get on a whole Edam. So I wouldn't recommend eating that, but we're going to taste it. Actually, we've already tasted it, but I got to tell you, we were blown away with this cheese.
This cheese is actually very creamy. It's a young cheese, so it hasn't aged, and it's got a nice buttery mouth feel. It's very creamy, very rich. Sheep's milk and cheese in general has a higher fat content, so it's very good for keto. And if you also are concerned about getting enough calcium in there, it actually has more calcium than cow's milk. That is really good. So,
and it's got a deep flavor, an intense flavor,
yes.
But it's also at the same time it's very soft. It's not hard or bitter. No. It's creamy.
It is like a creamy version of a Romano Pecorino cheese to me. It has that kind of saltiness of a Romano, but it's not hard like a Romano cheese, which Romano is also a goat's milk cheese. So it's like Manchego and what else? Not Gruyere, but ricotta is generally real Italian. Ricotta is a goat's milk cheese. So there's several out there, probably some that you didn't even realize you were eating a goat's milk cheese before. But this one in particular is absolutely fantastic.
It is.
And so this one, they say it's Dutch Lamb Chopper, and I'm not exactly sure what country it's actually from, whether it was done in the U.S. or here.
The U.S. or here?
Or U.S. or overseas. Because the shop...
Boom, boom!
The shop that we go to actually has cheeses from all over the world. So
this actually says Dutch Lamb Chopper, so I'm assuming that means it's from the Netherlands, or Holland, as we like to call it in England. So that's what I'm thinking. I think this is a Dutch sheep's cheese. But even if you can't get this particular one that's called Lamb Chopper, have a look for some sheep's cheese in your local store, see if they can give you a little taste and see if that's something you might like. So, why are we doing Cheese of the Week? Well, the reason we're doing Cheese of the Week is because cheese is very underrated on the keto diet, and you might all now be going, wait, what? We eat tons of cheese on the keto diet. The why I say it's underrated is because most of us are just eating cheddar and mozzarella. And there's a whole world of cheeses out there that could completely transform your keto game. Because if you're one of those folks who's been on keto a while, and you find you're kind of getting a bit bored because it feels samey, you could upgrade your keto and totally transform your meals and your taste buds just by changing the type of cheese that you eat, from your cheddar and your mozzarella to something else. So that's why we're doing cheese of the week.
Yeah, and plus, you know, getting some of these nicer cheeses too. A lot of cheeses that are sold on a commercial market, at, like, let's say we're going to Walmart or something like that, are loaded with things that may not necessarily make a clean keto diet. You know, if you get a yellow cheddar cheese, which it can be yellow naturally, but generally the yellow cheese that we buy at the store is dyed, and the chemicals that they use to dye it are not necessarily the best to put in your body. And then, you know, you're looking at some of the cheddar companies, you know, instead of aging their cheese for a long period of times, they might actually use chemicals that will help the aging process. And instead of aging months in a cave or cheese cave or wherever they're doing, they might accelerate the aging process and create like a more bitter and not as refined of flavors as some of the really aged cheese that you would get in like Ireland or England, or even here some of the smaller cheese makers will actually really age their cheese for real and produce a much superior product.
So, cheese of the week for this week is your sheep's milk cheese. This particular one, see if you can find it. You may have to go to the deli section in your grocery store and ask for it. Or if you have any specialty cheese shops near you, that's probably where you'll find it. And again, it's called Lamb Chopper, and it is absolutely fantastic.
For a quick tip, I have found that in my travels at some Kroger's, Safeways, and Fred Meyer's, some of them have a really nice cheese section, and they may actually have a larger variety of cheeses like the ones that we're showing here. And they bring in some, you know, generally local stuff, but sometimes even have some really nice imported stuff as well.
And as with anything else, the more we ask for stuff, the more likely stores are going to understand that it's something that we want and get it in for us. So there we go, cheese of the week, Lamb Chopper.
All right.
Boom.
Let me eat this whole block. Stuff is awesome.